This summer, meet the magical mermaid at VGP Marine Kingdom from April 12th to May 31st.
Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in an interview yesterday, was heard saying that nobody knew about the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, before Richard Attenborough made a film about him. After that statement, people started trolling the prime minister and said that he has little knowledge about Mahatma Gandhi. People started putting out cutouts of the Times magazine where he was declared the man of the year in 1931 itself. Now, is it belittling of Mahatma Gandhi and the kind of politics which we are seeing on social media? What does it really show? I'm joined by the author, columnist, and also the great grandson of Mahatma Gandhi, Tushar Gandhi, joins us. Thank you so much, Tushar, for joining on the Federal. My first question to you is that what is your first thought after you saw Prime Minister Modi's interview? And do you think that this clip has been cut out of context? Because he said a lot of things about Mahatma, and then a portion of it has gone viral where he's heard saying that nobody knew about Mahatma Gandhi until Richard Attenborough made a film. So what do you really
Yeah,
have to say on this?
my first response was I burst out laughing because it was such a hilarious comment that it did not qualify anything apart from laughter. But it also shows the conspiracy that has been continuously in play uh, from after his murder to kind of belittle him, kind of diminish his importance, kind of try to make him look ridiculous. And I believe that this latest by the Prime Minister is not just a guffaw, but it is a part of that conspiracy to slowly chip away and erode at the legacy of Bapu. And so
But
it
Tushar,
needs
why
to
do
be
you,
countered.
Tushar, let me interrupt you. Why do you think that this is a conspiracy? Because we have seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi going to the other countries, talking about Bapu. He worships at the statue. He does all of that. And he talks highly about Mahatma Gandhi. So why do you think that there is a conspiracy?
Because what he speaks and what he believes in are two different things. He's a graduate of the school of the Sangh, and in the Sangh we know what their attitude towards Bapu is. Even if I was not to uh, emphasize the fact that they were the inspiration behind his murder, and he graduates from that school. And so it's very obvious a conclusion that he is also part of that conspiracy, which has been continuously in motion from the time of his murder by spreading lies about him and defaming him at every opportunity they got.
But what is the idea? If you at all are saying that this is a conspiracy by the RSS to belittle him, to diminish his image, what do you think would be the ultimate gain? What do you think RSS is trying to do with Gandhi or Prime Minister Modi is trying to
Well,
do with Gandhi?
Gandhi has been a thorn in their flesh always. The idea of Gandhi became even bigger and more menacing for their ideology, and for so they have continuously tried to demolish that whole image of a larger than life person. And unfortunately, in today's India, it seems to be succeeding.
What do you think is the significance of Gandhi? Because, like Prime Minister Modi made Mahatma Gandhi a poster boy in the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and elsewhere
Yeah.
he keeps talking about Gandhi. He quotes Gandhi if he goes to other countries as well. So, how does one believe this binary about Gandhi? That on one hand, Gandhi is spoken of, he's discussed of, about so much globally, but on the other hand, you feel that there is a conspiracy. How does one believe that?
Well, the pretense is Gandhi worship. The reality is Gandhi hate, and that is very obvious in the fact that even though he sheds crocodile tears about his colleagues defaming Gandhi, he continues to remain in the same parliament with them, sitting cheek by jowl with all of them, and by his presence, lending them credence, in what they have said in the defamatory statements about Bapu. And so, between his words and his practices, there is a very big gap, and that is what we need to continuously bring to the people's notice.
Right. But Tushar, as you are seeing that this election is also about Samvidhan, this is about constitution, saving the democracy. Where do you think is Mahatma Gandhi in 2024 elections? Because constitution has become such a big issue right now.
Well, I think the central idea of the constitution was inspired by Bapu's ideal of Sarvodaya and Antyodaya, the empowering of the weakest of the weak and the poorest of the poor. And so, Bapu can, although the constitution was written and adopted much after Bapu was murdered, his imprint on the constitution cannot be denied, and so it in a way is also the it frames in a legal kind of a manner the legacy of Gandhi also, and so that is where it becomes very important that anybody who wants to do away with it, to anybody who clearly states that their objective is to replace the constitution, needs to be fought against to protect the constitution to the best of our abilities, and that is where the constitution has become the rallying point of the opposition in this election.
But Tushar, Prime Minister has also been heard saying in his interviews that even if Ambedkar wants, he will not be able to remove the constitution or he will not be able to withdraw the constitution. That is what he has claimed, that he is not touching
Well,
the constitution at all.
yeah. He claims a lot of things, but his people give away the game when they go and boast about how they are going to change or replace or scrap the constitution in a jiffy once they get the 400 par numbers in parliament. So, if he really is that sincere about it, he should take strong action against those who have been going and beating their chest in front of the people saying that you give us the mandate and we'll change this constitution. He hasn't done anything about it.
But supposing if BJP comes to power for the third time, where do you see Mahatma Gandhi? Where do you see the idea of Mahatma Gandhi going from here on?
Well, Gandhi is enshrined in our hearts and in our ideals, and that no matter who is in power cannot change that. I have seen that even today in the last few days while I've been campaigning in Banaras, the kind of welcome that I receive from common people when they find out who I descend from shows that even today, after so much of campaign to demonize him, people still revere him and respect him. And I think that is what matters most. Political ideologies fail in the face of this genuine admiration and affection in the hearts of our people and all over the world, wherever I have gone. It has been a similar kind of an experience for me. So I'm not worried about whether the BJP comes into power the third time or if it keeps on coming in power. Because if this time they come into power, we may not ever have another election again.
But Tushar, talking again about the idea of Gandhi and how Prime Minister had been speaking in his interview yesterday, do you think that boxing Mahatma Gandhi into one film, which he was referring to, is it right? I mean, and the kind of reactions which have been coming on social media, what would you really say to this?
Well, I would pity the man because his understanding of Gandhi seems to be based on the film made by Richard Attenborough. He's forgotten that in our own culture and in our own history, there's more than enough to study about the man and his ideals. And that film was based on all the things that are present in our history and in our tradition. And so it just became a part of the aura of Gandhi, and not the aura of Gandhi was not because of that film. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister, in his bombast, has this tendency of putting his foot in his mouth, and he, unfortunately, these days is doing it repeatedly.
But why would he then quote? Why would Prime Minister quote Gandhi wherever he goes and he travels globally? Uh, he always keeps Mahatma Gandhi on his side.
It is a compulsion because who's going to recognize Golwalkar or Edgewar abroad? His iconic ideals, and so unfortunately for him, no matter how it troubles him, the only way he can gain any recognition and honor is by quoting and embracing Bapu. And I really pity him because it must be such a painful thing for him to do, having grown up in the ideology of Gandhi hate, to pretend to worship Gandhi must take a lot out of him, and I think we should sympathize with him.
But what do you think would be the idea of Mahatma Gandhi in this 21st century? Because many people say that Mahatma Gandhi has just been reduced to a commodity, using him as a poster boy, using his spectacles, using his other artifacts. Do you think that he's just reduced to a commodity, or you feel that as time is passing by, the idea of Mahatma Gandhi is growing bigger and bigger?
No, the fact remains that when climate change and global warming are posing a threat to our very existence, people are turning to the sustainable lifestyle of Gandhi's ashrams and what they modeled, and realizing that there is uh, urgent need to implement some of the ideas by which Babu lived when there was no question about the degradation of the environment or global warming of any sort, and also the cost that rampant consumerism is causing on our society and individuals is turning a lot of people slowly but surely towards the Gandhian ideology of minimizing one's needs and living a sustainable lifestyle. So, but Gandhi's ideology, the magic and strength of Gandhi's ideology is that it can adapt to every the change of time and what we call as progress, and still be relevant and applicable, and that is where it becomes so potent for everybody and so threatening to a few.
So, what is that? I mean, what would you really say now to the way Gandhi is being handled by the political parties? And I'm not just talking about Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but I'm talking about all the political parties, their approach, their idea towards Mahatma Gandhi.
Well, you see, we must also understand that as a society, we are an idol worshipping society, and so we require those idols and those symbols and those objects to worship. And so, even for the political parties, it is no difference. But worldwide, if you see, the admiration and respect for Gandhi is not because of who he is, but because of what he said and what he believed in and what he lived by. And that is his eternal strength, which cannot be diminished ever. But in India, this is going to happen since everything for us is worshipping objects and images. And so political parties will also make a show of worshipping his image and object rather than adopting him
The ideas.
wholeheartedly. No, what I said was that political parties would also uh, adopt his imagery rather than his ideals, and it is a reflection of our society. So I don't see why we should signal out. But having said that, I would very much want to acknowledge the fact that this time the Congress's Nyay Patra is there is a lot of reflection of the Gandhian ideals in the Congress's Nyay Patra, and I'm happy to see that slowly Gandhi is permeating into the political strategy of a national party.
Right. But do you think that Congress has put Gandhi as the most central figure as part of their politics, as part of their campaign, as part of their propagation of ideas?
I think there is a move. There was a move when the Congress was also seemingly moving away from its ideology and its legacy. But in recent times, it feels as if Congress has realized the drift away from its ideals and core
Right.
values and is trying to get back.
All right. So one last question before I wind up this interview, Tushar. That you've been traveling. You said you were in Varanasi. What do you think?
Yes.
Which way is this election going? What is your sense? What you've picked up from the ground?
Well, when I came over here, I thought that it was a wasted task. But the last 3 days has have been a great eye opener, and I feel that the prime minister is on a sticky wicket.
But to say Prime Minister is on a sticky wicket in Varanasi is something which people wouldn't digest. I mean, it can't be like.
Well, it won't take too much time before you can either prove me wrong or right.
All right. So we'll have to wait and watch what happens on 4th June. Thank you so much, Tushar,
You're
for
most
joining
welcome.
on the Federal. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this interview, subscribe to our channel, send us your feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal.
This summer, meet the magical mermaid at VGP Marine Kingdom from April 12th to May 31st.